Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. I'm Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford, and I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. Olatunji Oyewale, and he is a staff member with me here at the City of Sanford. He is our CDBG Program Manager. Welcome, Mr. Oyewale.
Thank you, Ms. Holder. Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Great. And we have you on the show today to talk about a very important topic that the City of Sanford offers to our community. And that is something under the CDBG program, which is the Minority Home Repair Program.
Well, yes, that's part of the program that falls under the CDBG.
Okay. Can we explain to folks what CDBG stands for?
All of that.
Please, yes.
It's when you're dealing with the government, it's the alphabet soup.
Right.
So, CDBG basically is a community development block grant program, which basically, for understanding wise, Sanford is now an entitled jurisdiction, and the programs we qualify for a certain amount depending on our population. And they do all this fancy calibration in Washington to tell us how much we qualify for. So basically, for a layman's term, CDBG stands for Community Development Block Grant.
Okay, and so it's a program through the Department of Housing, Urban Development, right?
Yes,
HUD.
housing. Yes.
Yeah, when we talk about federal government program,
Yes.
correct? And you said City of Sanford is an entitled community.
Yes.
And that means what does that mean?
That means, as being an entitled community, you can basically request your own funds from the government, and they have this special, I guess, calibration in which they use depending on your population and how much you will get. And then, it depends on how you expend the funds. You see how much you get the following year, and also, of course, depending on what Congress does too.
Okay.
As far as budgets.
Right, and so you've been with the city since I think you just started this year.
Yes.
Correct.
The funny thing is, I did this program, at least a component of the program, 6 years ago, which was back then called the Immediate Needs Program. I was the one who was working the program, and then after my tenure at that position, the program was moved to the county. Okay, and from the county, stayed there for 5-6 years, and then however it ended up coming back to the City of Sanford. City of Sanford decided that they wanted to go ahead and utilize their funds themselves, and I was lucky enough to be back in the same position, but a lot more components to this,
right?
To the program this time. Before it was just the immediate needs. Now, with being a manager of the whole program, there's other components that I'm not here to talk about, but it's economic components, business components that comes with the program. But right now, we're just going to discuss the home program.
Right, and because we have other episodes for that. We'll have you back on the show for that. And so you have an office upstairs here now at City Hall, and so it's open to the public, correct?
It's open to the public.
We want people to wear a face mask.
Of course,
it's mandatory now when you come into City Hall. But
yes, of course, you have to be C-19 aware and wear your face mask. I only accept people by appointments because generally I am out in the field, because part of the program is to go ahead and check what's going on in the field with contractors.
All right.
But let me
let's go back to
let me step back because before you know, we'll be moving right along.
It's alphabet soup. Yes. Okay. All right. So what's the minor home repair program overall that you're administering now?
Okay. The minor home repair program is basically a new name for the immediate needs program. Okay, the immediate needs program was basically a rehab program that assisted people who qualify via their income, and you must live in the city of Sanford. So if you live in the city of Sanford, you make a certain amount, and you have a certain amount of people in your house, you qualify, and that's what the minor home repair program is about. And I like to tell clients that we do everything from the roof to the floor and everything in between. As long as it's something that's needed, it's something that will help you live a little better, and if it's safety induced, we definitely have to take care of that first.
Okay. And so can people submit this? There's an application process, I'm sure, right?
Sure.
Online?
You can pull up the application online on our website, cityofsanford.gov.
Sanfordfl.gov.
Sanfordfl.gov. You pull it up from there, and you go to programs, and then you go to some other components, and then if you go to the bottom of the page, you will see the actual application, and then you print it out. You print it out. You follow directions. You get all your needed components regarding your birth, your location, your address. It's self-explanatory. You fill it out. You bring it in. The only thing that I ask is that you make an appointment if you're bringing it in.
All right. How can people get in touch with you to make the appointment?
Oh yeah, you pick up the phone. You call 407-562-2779.
All right.
407-562-2779. You give me a call, and I'll be glad to set an appointment up for you, and then we'll take it from there. If you're short on your paperwork, I will guide you as best as I can.
Now, is this? I'd like to know how do people know if they qualify, and then I wanted to ask about the amount of funds available. Is that something until it's all gone that you have this program, or is it just continuing to flow down from the federal government?
No, the spigot stopped. Okay, it's not for ongoing spigot.
Okay.
You get a finite amount of funds.
Okay.
Right now, for the program, we are spending for this year $310,000, and $310,000 like 800 and something.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we'll get that spent easily.
Great. And so what about, how do people know if they qualify? Should they fill out the application before?
Well, first and foremost, make sure you live in the city of Sanford. Okay, that's first and foremost. If you live in the city of Sanford, you can put an application in. If you have any questions about your qualification, you're welcome to give me a call. I generally can look it up and let you know or get back to you.
Okay.
But most people, if you live in the city of Sanford, you what I call income qualify. And when I say income qualify, if you live in a one-person household, the most you can make is $38,850. Okay, and if you live in a two-person household, the most you can make is $44,400. And then it goes on up to 8-person household, and then those are part of the parameters that I use to calculate how you qualify. And of course, you must own your home.
Not a renter.
You can't be a renter. If you have more than one people on the house, make sure you all are on the same page.
Right.
And your house may not be in a position in which your taxes are not paid up. You can't be in foreclosure. Your house has to be paper ready in the sense that everything is lined up in order for us to go ahead and go through the process of trying to assist you with what you may need.
Okay. And so the house does it need to be under the name of the person that's applying, or?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, John is applying for the grant, okay? And John lives in the house. However, the house is under his grandmother's name. Okay, she needs to sign off on the paperwork.
Okay.
Okay, she needs to know that what's going on with the house, and that he's doing A, B, C, D regarding the house. If she okays it,
That's good.
but she also needs to live in the house.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she can't live in New York
Okay.
and want the house rehabbed.
Got you. That's
Okay.
that's a good point too. And so, what about if if someone is renting a house, can they do that? So they can't. You cannot repair or apply for this program if you're not living in the home that you're. So that answers that.
Yes, you must live in a home. It can't be a rental property for investors.
Okay.
You can't be a renter that want to get something done because your landlord is not doing it for you.
Right.
Okay, so you must be owner occupied.
Great. Owner occupied for the minor home repair program. And so what about what kind of things are covered? You did mention from the ceiling to the floor, but are like things like granite countertops and luxury items included?
Sure, jacuzzi too. No,
Swimming pool?
No, I wish.
Me too.
That's another program. We cover everything from the roof to what we call the HVAC, which would be the AC. Windows for weatherization. If you have issues for older people, accessibility.
Nice.
Let's say the doorways need to be widened a little bit, or you need pull bars in the shower.
Yeah. Let's say, for instance, you have a 2-story and you need one of those wheelchair mobility type of mechanisms. Would you do that to go up the stairs?
You know what? We have never done that before. No one has apply for that, but
would that fall into it?
That we might be able to work that out. You know,
okay.
the program is not stringent in the sense that it has to be A, B, C, D. You just have to make you more comfortable in your home.
Okay.
So that might be something that could be worked out if someone was
had a 2-story
qualified.
house. Yeah,
I'm just had a 2-story house. Yeah.
Just wondering about that. So, so then, you are trained as a CDBG manager and the administrator of this program to look at these types of categories and determine, right? Are you the final say-so with these applications?
Yes.
Okay.
For the most part, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And so what about, does the city use their specific contractors, or can people use their own contractors once they get approved?
Good question. No, we have a list of contractors that we use. They have been vetted. We know their work, and we have a relationship with them. We, as far as anybody else getting their own contractors, that doesn't work. Now, if you have someone that let's say Ms. Smith has a contractor that she works with, and he wants to sign up with the city, then he goes through the process. And if he fits our requirements, we'll sign him up.
Okay, so is that different than our vendor program with purchasing department? Oh,
it's very similar. They go through the same process.
They do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so, so how much in repairs cost does the program cover? Like, can someone go over the amount?
No.
Okay.
No. We don't cover no more than half of what your house is worth.
Okay.
Okay. In addition to that, the most that we cover this go around is $20,000 per household. Okay, and $20,000 per household for the most part will do a lot.
Yeah, we'll get things done.
We'll do a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this program won't help people buy a home, will it? This is a repair program.
No. You have already established a home. You've been in your home for at least 2 years, and everything is paid up. This is not the program to help you buy a home.
Okay. All right. And so, is there a difference? You did mention earlier that now that it was a city program, then it was transferred to the county to administer, and now it's back with the City of Sanford. Is there a difference from the program that was with the county, Seminole County?
For the most part, no. The structure is the same. There's little minute items that I prefer not be on the questionnaires. But for the most part, the requirements are the same. You know, you have to income qualify with the City of Sanford. With the county, you have to live within the county.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of income, do you know off the top of your head what the maximum income is for a household to receive minor home repair?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
Well, we just went over it.
Yeah. You mentioned different categories, like 38,850 for
38,850
one.
for one. Yeah. So it ranges from 38,850 for one person household to 73,300 for an 8-person household.
Okay.
And everything in between.
Okay. Great. And so I'm sure there's some great success stories, right?
Oh, definitely.
We have, Olatunji?
There are people who I can point to that I love assisting in the program that I ran 5-6 years ago, and they're out there. That I love driving by the cities
Nice.
and being able to see. Wow, yeah, I took part in helping that person have a better living environment.
Yeah, that must be very rewarding, right?
That's great.
What
for
you
me.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great for me.
So now they changed the name. It used to be. We'll just reiterate that.
It used to be called the Immediate Needs Program.
Okay.
The name has just been changed to the Minor Home Repair Program, but it's still the same program.
Okay.
We still do the same thing. These things happen once in a while. What we try to do sometimes is mirror the county in certain things, but at the same time we have our own character as the City of Sanford.
Okay, great.
So they changed the name over there, and we say, okay, just not to get people confused and keep certain things consistent.
Okay.
We also kind of went the same way.
So does this funding go through calendar year, January to December, or is it through our government year, fiscal year, October to?
It's fiscal year for the
Okay.
most part. The funds, we spend it till it's done. Okay, so it's first come, first prepared as far as paperwork. Just because you brought in your paperwork on first online, but you didn't complete your paperwork, doesn't mean you're going to be the first one done.
Okay.
The last person may have came in
With the whole packet.
package,
Yeah.
filled out, ready to go. They'll be processed quicker.
Okay.
So I try to update clients on where they're at and what they need to do.
Okay.
And for the most part, they've been very cooperative, and everything's been moving along. Well, not all as quick as we want to because of what's the issue that we have with the pandemic
Yeah.
and the COVID-19. But I like to say we're drudging along.
Great. Okay. Moving along, at least moving in the forward direction.
Exactly.
All right. Well, this is some really helpful information. I actually learned some things about our program. I know you're within the city manager's office, your department, and so your office is located on the second floor of City Hall. And is there any other things that you do take appointments for these types of this repair program?
Yes, I do take appointments.
Okay.
I like to let people know that, listen, apply. The worst you would get is no. I'm not. And if it's a no, I'll tell you why it's a no, and then you may be able to remedy it.
Right.
Apply. Don't cut yourself out.
Okay.
So that's what I tell people when they call. I say, hey, listen, here's the parameters. Here's what you need to do. The next thing I can tell you to do is apply to the program. The worst thing I can say is no. And then if I tell you no, I'll tell you why.
Right.
So and maybe you might be able to remedy the issue why there's a no. So sometimes, the simple thing like there is, I have several clients this time around, they couldn't get insurance on their house. Okay, so hey, listen, that could be fixed.
Right. Yeah.
And
then come back
and
around,
then come
right?
back later.
Okay.
So these things don't count yourself out. Move forward, and I will assist as best as I can.
All right, wonderful. Any last words, Mr. Olatunji?
Well, thank you for this opportunity, and I hope the information is good for the people.
Thank you. And yes, that's exactly right. This podcast is here to explain in detail city programs and services that the City of Sanford offers our residents, our customers, and this is another great program, the Minor Home Repair Program through the city's CDBG program. And on the show today was Mr. Olatunji Oyewale. He is the CDBG Program Manager, and we are glad that you were here, and we hope we have enlightened you, our listeners, on some of the services the City of Sanford offers to our residents, our customers. Thanks for listening. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer, and we'll see you next time. You can find this podcast wherever you do search for podcasts. Just put in Sanford Says, and we should pop up. And you can also listen through our website at sanfordfl.gov. Thanks again, and stay safe out there. Until next time, thanks.